Yo guys, what's up? It's Jake on the Jake and Jake show, and I'm gonna go over a Necromancer leveling build. And this will probably take you up to around 50 to get your capstone dungeon done, and then you can transition into something else. This is my third Necromancer. I only play hardcore. I've been to level 40 to 50 3 times now, so I know a little bit about leveling the Necromancer. um, so from levels 1 to 15, um, you're just gonna do hemorrhage and blood surge. Blood surge is super OP up to like level 20. It just one shots everything and it's a wide AoE. So you're gonna put 1 point hemorrhage and then max out your blood surge, and it doesn't really matter what else you take whatever you want, but you're just gonna kill everything with blood surge up until like level 15 to 20. Once you're at level 20, you're gonna transition, so you'll refund everything. You're gonna take a point in blood splinter, or sorry, take a point in bone splinters, enhanced bone splitters. Then you're gonna max out your bone spear, 5 out of 5. You're gonna go enhanced, and then you're gonna go supernatural first. The reason why I'm on paranormal is because I have a we have an imprint after you do the dungeon to get the imprint. So basically this imprint makes everything vulnerable when I bone spear, so then you end up not needing the vulnerable add-on here. So you'll take paranormal once you get that. Now, what's really good about this build is your bone spear hits like a truck, and so you're going to empty out your essence, and then you're going to fill it back up with corpse explosion. So once you max out your bone spear, you're going to put a point in corpse, you're going to put a point in enhanced, and then you're going to go for hewed flesh. Grim Harvest. I forget the names of these, but you want Grim Harvest, and what that does is every time you consume a corpse, you gain essence. That's why this is so good. So essentially what you're going to be doing, you're dumping your essence on Bone Spear, you're corpse explosioning to finish stuff off, and then you're also constantly summoning your skeletons as they die, right? You want to keep 4 up at all times, etc, etc. So I put a point in Blood Mist after that because I'm on hardcore, so I need an invuln button. But then you're gonna max out your skeletal warriors. They do more damage. They died less. It's just, yeah. We're not doing. Once you get up to like 45 is actually when you hit curse. You're actually not gonna have. Well, I didn't have a button on my hotbar for up until 45. You could put golem here if you're gonna run the golem, but you actually lose a lot of damage, and I'll explain why in a minute. So after we got corpse explosion, we have Grim Harvest. You're gonna go. I would personally recommend going straight into fueled by death after maxing out Grim Harvest. Top off your corpse explosion if you haven't already, and then we're gonna actually go down. You're gonna get Serration. You're gonna put 1 point compound fracture, and then max out your revulsion for the bone skills. You're gonna take ossified essence whenever you get to that point. We're not taking any ultimate abilities with this build because they're all kind of lackluster. Once you get this, then you can max out compound fracture, and then let's see. Then we're gonna start taking the points back up by the core tree. We want unliving energy to max out, just for more max essence. Imperfectly balanced makes it so it costs more essence, but it deals more damage, which we like. And then hewed flesh, which is just a lucky hit to generate more corpses. More corpses equals more damage. Death's Reach, just you do more damage from a distance, that's always good. And then you'll grab Necrotic Carapace. It just makes you a little bit tanky, have more life. That's kind of might be optional, but I prefer it since I play on hardcore. And then that's when you can start, putting some points in the curse. It's really not that good. It just slows enemies down. But once you get to like level 50 and you're doing your capstone dungeon, it's actually kind of good because you got your curse, your enhanced curse, and then you can start throwing points in amplified damage just for an extra 10% damage. So yeah, that is pretty much the build. You're gonna want to go over to Book of the Dead, and Reapers is pretty much a requirement. The reason why is because the second point here, Reapers have a 15% chance to generate a carcass or a corpse, and obviously that's just more damage for you, more corpse explosions. Sacrificing your cold mages for the extra vulnerable damage, and then you can run bone or blood up until level 32, and then I would highly recommend sacrificing the iron golem for the 30% increased crit damage. Up until then, bone can taunt for you, blood never dies, so it's your call on those two. But yeah, that's pretty much the build, and I'll give you guys a preview by running a dungeon. So let's hop over to a dungeon, and we'll show you guys the build. Alrighty, first thing we're going to want to do is get our skeletons up. 4 is the default, but we have an imprint that lets us have 6 skeletons. We should be able to just kill these really easily. And you're just gonna be amazed at how many extra corpses end up on the ground with this build, honestly. See, we're low on essence. Summoning your skeletons actually gives you the essence as well. But it's just the damage modifiers really kick in. The distant damage, the vulnerable damage. It's just, like you see, we're just one-shotting a lot of these enemies. And this is on difficulty 2, by the way. Level 47. You really, this build really thrives on, clearing a lot of AoE trash. It's not quite as good for, the tankier mobs. But you'll still 3 or 4 shot most of the elites with max essence. But you can just see how many corpses we have on the ground at our disposal. Make sure you keep your skeletons maxed in the bottom right corner. See, we have 5, so we're gonna grab another one. Okay. Gotta love clearing the entire mine. That's my favorite. Oh, we got a treasure goblin. That's lit. We get our extra 50k gold. See, we just completely obliterate everything with our bone spear. And remember, you do more damage as you consume corpses, so you want to constantly be weaving those in, even when you're at max essence, you do want to try and weave in some corpse explosions or summon some skeletons. It's kind of hard, honestly, for me to, talk out loud what I'm doing. Alright, second part of the dungeon. Just completely obliterate everything. this elite is almost dead. I didn't even know he was there. Oh, and that's why we have our immune, because fuck that. Alright.
I need more time.
Let's see some. Okay, cool. Dog shit.
I'm not ready yet.
But you can just see how much damage we do when we just dump our essence into things. When we just fucking clear everything out. All the extra trash just goes away with our corpse explosions. Man, though, hardcore just really makes you focus on your health bar. Like, most of the time I'm focused on the bottom left hand of my screen. Just so many times where I go down to half HP and I have to pop a potion or, you know, whatever. So there's, oh, well, I was gonna give you a tip about Conduit Shrine. We gotta do this curse shrine real quick. These fucking ballistas or bows or whatever really fucking hurt on level 2. So those are always priority for me. See, we have 0 skeletons right now. That's why we're not having as many corpses on the ground. It's actually a really good build, solo or in a group, because you literally make everything vulnerable, and it's gonna make everybody in your group do more damage. So it's just as good in a group. Alright, so a little trick with the conduit shrines. You'll notice there's a cooldown when you, like, if I try and, like, say there's a boss and I conduit, like, I press the ability on him, there's a cooldown before I can do it again. But you can do it really quick on, like, different enemies. So hopefully I can give you an example here. Oh, man. See, if you go to different enemies, there's no cooldown. Well, still a little cooldown, but it's much quicker if you kind of, like, go back and forth between them as opposed to just going on one. Okay, we gotta go this way. And everything's dead. And see, even though I'm not really exploding the corpses behind me for damage. I'm just doing it to fill my essence bar so I can kill this elite. "5,000 skeletons have been slayed by my hand." just gone. You blink and you miss it. Snapping necks and cashing checks, that's what we do. Again, it's a very simple, but it's a very fun way to play, in my opinion. You just dump your bone spear, and then you just blow everything up. You know, rinse and repeat. Tomb Lord, pretty easy boss. You can see we've already done a quarter of his health by dumping our essence one time on him. Constantly keeping our damage buff up on our skeletons, dump our essence. And now we're gonna just blow everything up around him. This guy can be kind of overwhelming on hardcore, just because when he does detonate his walls, they do a lot of damage if you're near them. Like, this is fucking terrifying to me. Gotta get out of there, otherwise we die. Oops.
I'm not ready yet.
See, there's the damage. That shit is so fucking terrifying.
I need more time.
Alright. Alright guys, there you have it. There is a very simple, very easy, and very fun Necromancer leveling guide. Thanks, bye.